episode, I do want to highlight Tottenham a little bit because being on Tottenham Twitter unwillingly, I have seen a lot of the complaints.
That's why I don't follow you guys on Twitter.
I do have the wasn't ex West Ham United employee. That's where I get on my West Ham news. The 3 a week.
It's a very valid source.
Yeah, it is. It is. So I want to talk about Tottenham a little bit. I want to hear Dave's thoughts on it because we know everything's happening. I'm hearing shouts such as Tuchel in, Conte out. I'm hearing.
What do we think of Tottenham? Shit. Yep.
Watch yourself.
I don't give a shit. I got nothing to lose. I'm already at 18th. What do you want?
It's fair.
Can't take anything away from me.
It's fair.
I'm a dangerous man. I got nothing to lose.
That's true.
Yeah, all these kind of shouts. They got a lot of complaints, especially after Tottenham's loss today, yesterday in the North London Derby. Hard one to take, it seems, for a lot of Tottenham fans. Which was a controversy in itself, but we can discuss that later.
That guy was an idiot. He does not represent the entire fan base. You never attack a player.
I saw the video of someone who was like sitting behind him, and he literally just like walks over the posts or whatever and kicks them and then runs away and like puts his mask on and hood on and runs away.
Yeah. But the thing is that the mask fell off as he was running up the stairs, so the guy has a full video of his face. It was kind of
stupid.
Yeah,
anyway, Dale.
That guy's an idiot. No matter how heated you get in a rivalry, you don't attack the players. Like, come on, chill out, people. It's a game. It's a game.
Literally,
relax.
End of the game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a sport. Violence is not necessary in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's coming from a Chelsea fan. That's coming from Chelsea. So, Dig, I want your thoughts. Like I said, we've had the thoughts. We've had talk about what Chelsea needs to do. We've had talk about what West Ham needs to do. But Tottenham have been in that weird place, I feel, where they've been like succeeding this season. But now it's getting to a point where we got to talk about what needs to change. So give me your thoughts, Dale.
I think number one, always has been for the past, I don't know how many years now, since they took over, Daniel Levy and Enoch need to leave. There have been rumors of a Qatar takeover recently, and as much as I make fun of Chelsea being an oil club, I will shamelessly accept that money every day.
I was going to get to that, Dave. I was going to get to that. Well, I'll bring it back. To that.
Every day I would take $1 billion. I don't care. Come at me. I'm fine with that. Human rights could get out the window.
Okay.
Don't hold that. Don't hold that one.
No.
Hold that energy, Diego. I just want to get that in your mind. Okay, hold that energy.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So basically, that's a semi joke. I mean, like, I don't really care if the new owners. No. Wait, let me
semi joke.
No, I meant about Qatar taking over. Obviously, human rights are important. We're not Qatar. So let's make that straight. So, what was I saying? Right. I just want a new owner. They don't have to be freaking rich. They don't have to be loaded. They don't have to be the new Abramovich. I just want new owners because the ones we have right now, they have made far too many mistakes far too often. We have too many players. Elijah can agree with this. Too many players for Chelsea. I mean, too many players that shouldn't be here anymore. They should have been gone 2 years ago, but they're still here making a living at this club that should be so much better than what it is now. We have an amazing manager who is elite, and we're giving him crappy players and deadwood and a few stars to try to make a good team. And he overachieved last season, by the way, completely overachieved with a worse team. It helped that Son was actually on form this season. He's a little bit more rough, but basically, Conte overachieved, and he's struggling this season. And we're only a spot below what we finished last season, so it's not even like that much worse. But new owners. That's my number one take right here. New owners.
I do want to say, you might agree, you might disagree. Contrary to what many believe, Tottenham and Chelsea are in a very similar spot right now. As in
right now,
right now, like the past 5 years, obviously very different. Right now, we're in a very similar spot. We're only 5 points off Tottenham. Like that's that's similar, regardless of 5th and 10th.
I agree. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So, and we're also in the same point where you guys need a new owner, right? And you want that point of transition. We just got a new owner, and we are barely tipping that point of transition right now.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with the consequences of that. And like you said, we both teams are living in the past of the past 2 or 3 years. We need to move on. Both teams need an overhaul essentially. The only difference I'd say is regardless of spot right now, I think Chelsea are in a much better right now. Chelsea are in a much better spot to accomplish that in the next 5 years than compared to Tottenham, and the only way Tottenham's going to change that is new owners.
I agree. I think new owners is the only solution. We should have won something. We should have won a Premier League title, a Champions League title with Pochettino. God bless his soul.
At least the Europa.
Yeah,
at least an FA Cup. I'm sorry. At least
something. He overachieved big time. Pochettino is a legend. He's the only reason we're even talking about us being a top 6 club. It's because of Mauricio Pochettino. Now, he didn't win anything, and it's not his fault. Okay, it's semi his fault. We can talk about that. That's a whole other topic. But mainly, it's Daniel Levy's fault for not. We went a whole transfer window in the summer without buying anyone. Do you know how crappy that is? Do you know how much we needed to buy someone?
Yeah.
We needed it badly, and we still somehow got to the Champions League final. Pochettino was magic, and we let him walk. We let him walk because we're stupid. And Levy wouldn't pay the money for a player to upgrade the team or two. And I can keep ranting, but that's my point.
You think of the big 6, right?
Yeah.
You think of the big 6. As much as we hate to admit it, I don't. But as much as other people hate to admit it, you have to spend to win. That's just what it is now.
Absolutely.
Regardless of how good your academy is these days, it's not going to get you to that point. Unless you have the Ronaldinho, Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo regens coming through. You have to spend big. And Tottenham, honestly, out of the big 6, Tottenham are the team I'd put in last place in regards to that. City's been spending like crazy. Chelsea have been spending for a while and are still spending. You know that.
I think us and Arsenal are probably the lowest spenders of the top 6 for sure.
I know you are. I'm pretty sure you are. But I'm even putting Arsenal above Tottenham. In a way, just for the fact they almost signed Mudryk for 95 million, just for the fact that they had the balls to go out there and do that.
Yeah,
Tottenham don't even have the balls to attempt that.
It's not the balls; it's the finance. Okay, it's not because we don't have.
But I mean, the ability. I'll say ability.
Yeah,
the ability to do that. Even
look.
This is no. Tottenham, Pedro Porro. The thing that I've seen is the key difference is valuations, right? He has a 40-something million release clause. Tottenham doesn't exactly want to pay that much. Sporting will only accept that much, right? Because it's release clause you have to. I feel if you're any other Big 6 team, that 40 million should be pocket change for you. You should be able to just spend that for the player you want. That's good for your project. You should be able to put that money forward. Hey, we want you, and you come in. This shouldn't be a hassle. You shouldn't have to worry about 5-10 million like that.
That's the thing. I don't even know why we don't. I don't know if it's because we're low on funds right now. I don't know if it's because our manager. It's probably a mixture, but our owner is very strict on money. I don't know if it's because the stadium that we built a few years ago is still it's probably still costing us a lot of money, but we also make a lot of money from it because of its capacity and all that, But I agree. I think his perspective, and I think Justin can agree with me, although they've been spending more money recently. But when you look at the big 6 teams, I see Chelsea. They spent 100 million on Mudryk. They are willing to spend another 60, 80, 100 million on another player. We wouldn't even dream of spending above 80 million on a player. We wouldn't even dream of that. That's not even a thought. Like our most expensive transfer was in Ndombele for 65 million, and look how that turned out. So that's going to stop us from spending any money. So my point is, we wouldn't even dream of spending anything above 70 million, and yet you guys go out here and can do it 2 times the window. It's unfair. It's unfair, but that's the game. That's the game, So we have to play it. But the way we've been playing it is crap. At least Newcastle have done it smartly. At least Arsenal have done it smartly. We have not, and that's costing us right now. And we have an elite manager. We have some amazing players. We have Harry Kane, who is a generational player. He's an extremely, extremely good player. And yet we are laundering down in 5th because we did not invest in the right players. And this should have been invested in 5-6 years ago when we had Pochettino. And we're paying the price every season, every time. The fact that we were in a Champions League final, or that we were finished second in the Premier League that one season that Chelsea barely beat us to it, was all because Pochettino and his magic, and now we're suffering. So there you go. There's the life of a miserable Spurs fan every season.
The horror.
The horrors. I know.
Of life.
Like, so my thing is, okay, Tottenham lose out on the title in 15-16 season to Leicester City, who, unfortunately for Spurs, Leicester City had a once in a club's lifetime season and won the title, right?
That too.
Chelsea, like you said, Chelsea were the reason they didn't win the title, which I'm very proud of. But
no, not that one. No, not even that season. The season we finished second to you guys.
Well,
the season after
would
that.
have been what? Oh, 16-17. Yes.
Yeah.
So my thing is, right? You're Tottenham. You finished second 2 seasons in a row. Barely one season by 7 points the next season, but it's still second. You're 8 points above third, right? So it's still a great season.
Mm-hmm.
Who in their right mind, which owner in the right mind isn't sitting there and it's like, okay, what do we need to do to go from second to first? Like that.
That's a great question, Elijah.
It's obviously
That's a great question.
It's obviously spending money. Like as shameful as it is, you can bring in a new manager, you can bring in a new front office, you can bring in new physios, whatever. At that point, you're a top level club. You're second best in the league 2 years in a row. You spend money.
And you know what we do? You know what we do? We don't sign anyone.
They buy a new stadium. You build a new stadium.
Well, no, that's fine, but it's just no. The thing is, we didn't even sign anyone before we bought that new stadium. That's and maybe they were like, oh, I don't know. I'm going over the same topics. My point is, we just didn't invest in the right time, and now look at where we are.
Yeah, I mean, like after that season, like I'm gonna point out the placements after that season. We know, but you finished second in 15, 16, 17. 17, 18, you finished third. The year after, you finished fourth. The year after that, you finished sixth. The year after that, you finished seventh. 4 years in a row, you go down, 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 down. Again, which owner in the right mind isn't sitting there like, what do we need to do to change this? Why is it just Tottenham? Why is Daniel Levy? I don't know Daniel Levy. I don't know how loaded this man is, but if you're owner of a football club of this stature, you don't be stingy with your money. You put the money into it, or you sell the club. I know this I think relates to an idea that club owners should be owners of their club, not a profit maker.
Yep.
Right. These are players that want team to succeed, not just there to make a quick buck, and not even a quick buck. Daniel Levy's been there for too long.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Daniel Levy's been there for too long. Yep. It's a topic that bothers me. I'm a Chelsea fan. It bothers me, man.
Yeah, you know how I feel.
Yeah. Okay.